Good morning, dear friends. We are happy to have Mr. Yevgen Czolij, President of the World Ukrainian Congress.
Last weekend, and we look forward to hearing the outcomes of that meeting. Pane Czolij.
Dobrý deň.
Good morning. I'm Eugene Czolij, President of the World Ukrainian Congress, and I arrived to Ukraine for the annual Congress of the World Ukrainians. We had representatives from 1500s of the world, from different countries around the globe, and we had representatives from the U.S., Canada, Australia, even from South Africa. We decided to have this year Congress in Ukraine to let Ukrainian people feel that we stay shoulder to shoulder with Ukrainian people, and that we are ready to assist you, the nation, in overcoming the Russian aggression. We also agreed that on September 8th we will sign up the memorandum on cooperation with the Cabinet of Ministers. I will not read the memorandum in whole, but I will quote just some paragraphs. The Prime Minister is a major signer on Ukrainian behalf. The World Ukrainian Congress and the Cabinet of Ministers aiming to strengthen cooperation between the two parties in strengthening rights of Ukrainians all around the world, and to support the territorial sovereignty and integrity of Ukraine. It's Euro-Atlantic and European course. The parties have agreed that they will cooperate in the foreign policy priorities. They will assist in communication with the governments in the countries where the foreign Ukrainians stay. They will assist the victims of the conflict with the Russian Federation, support electoral process. Ukraine developed civil society in diaspora, and cooperate in the areas of culture, youth, sports, recognition of the Great Famine of 1933-1944, and counteract to the human trafficking. These are major parameters, major framework for our cooperation, and actually the next step will be to develop specific action plans for the implementation of these intentions. Богдана Костюк, Свобода Radio, Liberty Radio. I have two questions. What are diplomatic and political methods of the World Congress of Ukrainians to advocate the interests of Ukraine in terms of, specifically in terms of military assistance to Ukraine in this situation? And will you please speak more broadly about the monitors and observers during the future parliamentary elections? Will you please remind me about your first question? So, what specific methods, what specific policies you have to implement the decision? We have Yes, we have methods to communicate the main message that what is going on in Ukraine. This is not specifically Ukrainian problem. This is the crisis in Europe. This is the crisis of the entire for the entire world, and actually it is jeopardizing the entire world, and we expect that this will promote and cause support from foreign countries. Actually, this will be our strategic way of action and communication with the countries which host big Ukrainian diasporas. Also, we cooperate with information centers, including Ukrainian crisis media centers and many other media centers, and disseminate information almost in 47 countries of the world. We disseminate information about situation in Ukraine. We also closely cooperate with NGO in order to create pressure upon governments and the countries where we have Ukrainian diaspora. Also, I would like to remind you that immediately after independence, we sent our observers to all the parliamentary and presidential elections in Ukraine. During the latest presidential elections, we had more than 220 observers from almost more than 40 countries. Olga Bosak. My question is as follows. Your Congress is famous and well-known organization in the world, and it has a high reputation among not only Ukrainians but among the governments in the world. So my question is, what events do you have to draw attention globally, or whether you have some regular periodicals to disseminate information, or established sources for dissemination of information, like sending circulars to information agencies, etc. Also, the second question about those crimes against humanity and information about those crimes which you have, whether you can provide assistance to Ukraine to collect evidences, to collect proof about those crimes, to sue the aggressor state. Answering to your first question, I would like to say that we collect information just not only on paper. We have close cooperation with the information agencies in personnel, and our people cooperate with and communicate directly with people. Then just an example of personal contacts. The previous Congress held in Lviv gathered more than 300 delegates from different countries, and and actually we alter the locations, the venues for our congresses. 1 year we have our congress in Ukraine, and 1 year we have the venue in one of the countries of Ukrainian diaspora. This year we decided to change this periodical order, and in order to express our support to Ukraine and in order to communicate directly to the government and to speak to NGOs and to mobilize our efforts. By the way, our Congress was visited both by Greek Catholic church leader in Ukraine and by Patriarch Philaret, the head of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of Kiev Patriarch. So answering your question, I would like to sum up that during our 3-year, 3-day sessions at the Congress, we discuss our current business and what we can do during the year. And I would suggest you to check via Google to check our websites, and there you will see that we quite often issue a lot of feedback on the current events. For example, we provided feedback on the FIFA decision to repeal the football to repeal the decision to have the World Championship of 1818 in Russia, then to boycott Russian products, etc. Actually, this shows that we rather quickly respond to all the developments having place in Ukrainian social life. And also we have quite often I have personal meetings with NGO representatives, with the representatives of civil society, which allows us to understand better what assistance is needed in this country and provide more competent assistance to people in the country. And what was the second question? Will you please remind? The second question was how you can use your close relations with Ukrainian NGOs and government about in terms of gathering information. Usually we work as follows. The process is as follows. We meet with people, for example, in Ukraine, and we draw attention. Then we draw attention of various international figures with whom we contact. We draw attention to the situation in Ukraine, to the aspects which we would like to highlight, and then we encourage them to go to Ukraine to help Ukraine. Actually, this year I saw support from the governmental structures, and this gives hope that we will be able to do more. Actually, this annual meeting held in Kiev allowed us to pass a resolution that we should strengthen our immediate actions to assist Ukraine under current circumstances. Thank you very much for your support. I know that Ukrainian diaspora, which counts up to 20 million of Ukrainians living abroad, I believe that they can provide huge support, huge mobilization of effort to support Ukraine. Thank you very much for your cooperation and for your participation in our annual Congress. We are happy that we have signed memorandum on cooperation, and I also am glad to thank you that you participated in our economic round table, where we discussed how we can mobilize efforts globally to promote information about Ukraine and to